Hello dear guys, welcome here in our most favorite YouTube channel Physics Make It Simple. We are meeting together after a very long interval of time because in the last week I am not feeling well, okay? So sorry for your inconvenience. So today is our lecture number 5 as long as units and measurements are concerned, and in this lecture we want to discuss about uses of dimensional analysis. So what is our first use? The first use is that to verify the truth of physical equation or to check the correctness of physical equations. Let me write on the board. What is the first use? The first use is to verify the truth of physical equation or to check the correctness of physical equation. So how to verify the truth of physical equation? So for that purpose we are choosing the first kinematical equation, that is V is equal to U plus AT. I will write on the board. V is equal to U plus AT. How this equation is dimensionally correct? For that purpose, calculate the dimensions of all terms on both the sides of the equation. That means what? If the dimensions of all terms on both the sides of the equation, that is on LHS side as well as on RHS side, if the dimensions are equal, then that given equation is dimensionally correct. So we have to find the dimension of final velocity V, dimension of initial velocity U, and dimension of AT. If the dimensions are equal, then we can say that the given equation is dimensionally correct. So our duty is to calculate dimension of V at first. So I will write here dimension of V is equal to, what is dimension of V? Dimension of V is equal to L1t minus 1. This is equation 1, final velocity. Dimension of initial velocity U is also equal to L1t minus 1. It may be final velocity, it may be initial velocity, dimension remain constant. Then what is the dimension of AT? AT, what is A? A is acceleration. So dimension of A into dimension of T, this may be written as like this. What is the dimension of acceleration? That you know, L1t minus 2. What is the dimension of time? That we know, T1. Combining these two, we'll get what? Dimension L1 t minus 1. This is equation 3. Dear student, observe that 3 equations. After observing that 3 equations, what is our conclusion? See here. Dimension of V is equal to L1t minus 1. Dimension of U is equal to L1t minus 1. Dimension of AT is equal to also L1t minus 1. So what we conclude? Dimension of V is equal to dimension of U is equal to dimension of AT. So given equation is dimensionally correct. Let me write on the board. Okay. Let me write on the board. Dimension of V is equal to dimension of U is equal to dimension of AT is equal to what? L1 t minus 1. We can write here using equation 1, 2 and 3. so that all dimensions are equal. Dimension of V is equal to dimension of U is equal to dimension of AT is equal to L1T minus 1. Using equation 1, sorry here 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 implies that above equation is dimensionally correct. Above equation is dimensionally correct. So in this way we have verified the truth of physical equation, or we have checked the correctness of physical equation. So this is our first use. So pause the video, take a screenshot. I will wait. Okay, take a screenshot. Okay, so this is all about first use. What is our second use? Let me clean the board. Let me clean the board at first. Let me clean the board. So our second use is what? The second use, to find the relationship between different physical quantities. So in your textbook, this is the second use that is given. So for that purpose, the book has chosen the equation T is equal to 2 pi square root of L upon G. This is the equation of period of simple pendulum. Dear student, capital T is a periodic time, 2 pi is a constant term, capital L is length of the pendulum, and G is acceleration due to gravity. So the exact relationship between period, length of the pendulum and acceleration due to gravity is like this. But suppose we don't know the relationship between three physical quantities, then how we can build up the equation? So we can write the equation like this. Let T is equal to K L to the power A G to the power B. We don't know what is the power of length of the pendulum. Suppose that power is A. We don't know what is the power of acceleration due to gravity. That power is suppose B. We don't know the value of constant term. Suppose it is K. So we have to build up the relationship between periodic time, length of the pendulum and acceleration due to gravity. How we can build up it? Let us see. So we can write like this. Dimension T is equal to K as it is, dimension of length to the power A, dimension of acceleration due to gravity to the power B. So what is the dimension of periodic time? Dimension of periodic time is T1, like this, that I have written here. K. What is the dimension of length? Dimension of length is L1. A. What is the dimension of acceleration due to gravity? Dimension of acceleration due to gravity is L1T minus 2. Here B. Then next step is what? T1. K. Here what? L. 1 into A. Here L. 1 into B. B. T. Minus 2 into B. Minus 2B. Like this. Okay. Then next we can write like this. T1 is equal to K. What? L and L. Base is same here. So we can combine these two L, this L and this L. We can write like this: a plus b, power is a, power is b, a plus b, then here what we get? Minus 2b. By combining these two same bases, we can write a plus b. And compare both the sides, LHS and RHS. So T is here, T is here, T is here. So minus 2b is equal to 1. I will repeat again. T is here, T is here. So power is minus 2b, power is 1. So we can write minus 2b is equal to 1. Minus 2b is equal to 1. So I will write like this: minus 2b is equal to 1. From this we get what? B is equal to minus 1/2. See here, a plus b, L to the power a plus b, but L is not here. So value of a plus b is equal to 0. A plus b is equal to 0. Okay, put the value of b here. So a, value of b plus value of b is minus 1/2 is equal to 0. I have only put the value of b here. So a plus value of b is equal to minus 1/2 is equal to 0. So you will get what? A is equal to 1/2. So we get what? A is equal, b is equal to minus 1/2 and a is equal to 1/2. Then question arises, what is the value of k? Value of k is calculated by doing some experiment, and which is equal to 2 pi. So suppose this equation is capital A. So I will write here value of k, value of k is calculated, value of k is calculated by doing some experiment which is equal to k is equal to 2 pi. So putting the value of a, b, 2 pi in equation A. So I will write here, substituting values of a, b and k in equation A, we have what we get? We get like this: k is equal to, value of k is equal to 2 pi. L, value of a is what? 1/2. G, value of g is minus 1/2. So this may be written as like this. How we can write like this? We can write this. See here, we can write like this: T is equal to 2 pi L to the power 1/2. L to the power 1/2, we will write square root of L, and this g to the power minus 1/2, g to the power minus 1/2, we can write it on the denominator. Because it is minus 1/2, we get what? Root g. I will repeat again. L to the power 1/2, I will write square root of L. But g to the power minus 1/2, this may be written as like this here: 2 pi L to the power 1/2 upon g to the power 1/2, because minus 1/2 is here, goes into denominator, g to the power 1/2, and g to the power 1/2, I will write it is square root of g. So square root of L and square root of g combined together will get what? T is equal to 2 pi square root of L upon g. So this is our exact relation. That is a period of a simple pendulum, and we can calculate the relation between T, L and G by making use of dimension. So this is the most important use that we have studied here. So pause the video and take a screenshot. Pause the video and take a screenshot. Pause the video and take a screenshot. Okay, then our third application. So let me clean the board at first. Let me clean the board. Let me clean the board. Our third use is what? Very interesting. Our third use is what? Our third use is what? Third use, to find conversion factor, to find conversion factor between similar units of same physical quantity of in different systems. To find the conversion factor between similar units of same physical quantity in different systems. What is the meaning of this sentence? Okay, take an example of work. So SI unit of work or joule, SI unit of work is joule. CGS unit of work is erg. I will repeat again. SI unit of work or energy. This is correct. SI unit of work or energy is joule. CGS unit of work or energy is erg. So SI system, unit is joule. In CGS system, unit is erg. So joule and erg are the similar units. And same physical quantity is work or energy. So we will write here. Take an example of work. Take an example of work. Take an example of work or energy. Okay. So we can write here. SI unit of work is joule. CGS unit of work is erg. So we don't know the relationship between joule and erg. So we can write here. We don't know the relationship between joule and erg. So we can write here. 1 joule is equal to X erg. So this is equation 1. 1 joule is equal to X erg. 1 joule is equal to X erg. We don't know the relationship between joule and erg. This X is called as conversion factor, dear students. And we have to find the value of X. Okay. So how we can find it? So we can write here. What is the dimension of work? Dimension of work is equal to M1 L2 T minus 2. This X is as it is. What is the dimension of work? So write down dimension of work is here. M1 L2 T minus 2. So this is the dimension of work in CGS system. This is the dimension of work in SI system. So to differentiate between these two, we can write like this. M1 L1 T1 like this. M1 L1 T1. We can write this. M2 L2 T2. Okay. So here we can write X is equal to what we get? M1 1 L1 2 T1 minus 2 like this. Here M2 1 L2 2 T2 minus 2. like this. So x1. Okay. So this is a SI unit. This is above is a SI. These are the dimensions in SI unit. These are the dimensions in CGS unit. Okay. Then what is the SI unit of mass? SI unit of mass is kilogram. SI unit of length is meter. SI unit of time is second. CGS unit of mass is gram. CGS unit of length is centimeter. And CGS unit of time is second. So fill up that units, what we get? Okay. So x is equal to, we can write like this. SI unit of mass, SI unit of mass, kilogram 1. SI unit of length, meter 2. SI unit of time, second minus 2 upon, what we get here? CGS unit of mass, gram 1. CGS unit of length, centimeter 2. CGS unit of time, second minus 2. Remember well, dear student, remove the dimension sign and the circular bracket is coming here. Circular bracket, circular bracket. Not necessary to quote dimension sign now. This is a dimension sign. This is a circular bracket. Dimension of mass, SI unit of mass, kilogram. SI unit of length, meter. SI unit of time, second. CGS unit of time, CGS unit of mass, gram. CGS unit of length, centimeter. CGS unit of time, second. Then next one. What is this? 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter, and second is as it is. So we can write like this. See here. We can write like this. We can write like this. X is equal to 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram 1. Here meter 100 centimeter 2. Centimeter 2. But centimeter 2. So centimeter comes in 2 times. So I will write 100 in 2 times into centimeter 2 into S minus 2. Remember well, dear student. Centimeter 2. So convert meter into centimeter 2 times. 100 centimeter, 100 centimeter. So 100 into 100 centimeter square upon what we get? Gram 1 into centimeter 2 into S minus 2. What is getting? These units are getting cancelled like this. These units are getting cancelled like this, like this. You will get what? X is equal to 1000 means 10 raised to 3. 100 means 10 raised to 2. Again this 100 means 10 raised to 2. Then x is equal to what? X is equal to 3 plus 2 plus 2. You will get what? 10 raised to 7. And put value of x in equation 1. We get what we get? Put x is equal to 10 raised to 7. We get 1 joule is equal to 10 raised to 7 erg. So this 10 raised to 7, this 10 raised to 7 is a conversion factor. This 10 raised to 7 is a conversion factor between joule and erg. 1 joule is equal to 10 raised to 7 erg. In this way, we find conversion factor between two similar units of same physical quantity in two different systems, that is in SI system and CGS system. I will give you one exercise to prove that 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dyne. I will write the question here. To prove that 1 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dyne. So this is the exercise for you. So we have to think these Newton and dyne is units of force. So write down the dimension of force on both the sides and do the similar things that I have already done on the board, and you will get the conversion factor at that time is equal to 10 raised to 5, and from that we can easily say 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dyne. This is for your exercise, dear student, and for this time we will stop here and again meet for the next lecture. Goodbye.